Hi, and welcome to another Excel demo with Rich Kerr. In this scenario, I want to talk a little bit about date formatting. So in this example, we have a series of date values, and they've been formatted in what we traditionally call the short date format. When you go to your formatting menu on the Home tab in Excel, there are two built-in date formats, one called short date and another one called long date, which will include the day of the week fully spelled out. The month is spelled out, and then the day, comma, and the year. Now, there are other date formats, and I'm going to show you a couple, and we'll talk about actually creating our own date format. So, if I right click on the selected cells and go to Format Cells, that's certainly one way to get there, you'll notice that it takes me to the date category on the number tab. And there are a number of date formats built in here, right? You can kind of scroll through and see some choices. And if you've got a cell selected that has a numeric value, Excel will try to represent it here in the sample field to show you what the selected format would look like. And date and time kind of go together in Excel's formatting syntax. So even though I'm on the date tab or the date selection, I do see dates with time formats included as well. But I'm not going to concern myself with the time for this scenario. We'll talk about that later. So I can kind of go through and pick different formats. Maybe this is the one I want, right? And if I don't like that, I can go back, bring up my format cells window. By the way, if you're a keyboard shortcut person, Control 1 launches the format cells window. So Control and the number 1. That'll launch that. Okay, so let's say that I'm going through and I don't like any of these formats, right? Maybe I'm just not happy with any of them. We can do a custom format. So I'm going to come down to custom, and when you go to the custom area, you'll see a number of entries that are in place that support a variety of other types of formatting that Excel can do for you. And what we'll do in this example is talk about some of the basics when it comes to date formatting. Let's say for this scenario, we'd like to see a three-letter representation of the day of the week. So I'm going to type the letter D 3 times. Now you'll notice when I start typing that, when I hit it once, I get 12. That first date is May 12th. So the single D will give me 12. If I do two Ds, because it's a two-digit date, it's still just 12, right? Now, if the date had been, say, May 3rd, the single D would say 3, and the two Ds would say 03. But with a two-digit number, you don't see a difference between those two. Now, if I add a third letter D, it now is showing me the day of the week with its three-letter abbreviation. I could add a fourth letter D and get the fully spelled out day of the week. But in this example, I want just the three-letter abbreviation. Then what after that? Do I want a space? Do I want a comma? I'm going to say for this scenario, I want a comma, and then I want the fully spelled out month name. So with Excel's date formatting, that would be using the letter M. So a single M gives me 5 for May, right? That's a May date. Two M's gives me 05. Three M's gives me the three-letter abbreviation, and obviously for May, it's just May. And if I did four letters, in the case of May, of course, it doesn't make a difference because the month name is only 3 letters long, but that's giving me the difference between a three-letter abbreviation and a fully spelled out month name. I'm going to leave it with the 3 letters. And now I want to do the date piece. That is going back to using the letter D. So if you recall, two-letter Ds will give me the numeric date of that date value, the numeric day in the month. So two Ds gives me 12. I'm going to put a comma, and then I want the four-letter year representation. So that would be with the letter Y. So a single Y gives me 20. Two Y's gives me 20. So if this was back in 2007, a single Y would give me 7 and two Y's gives me 07. But so I have the two-letter abbreviation. If I do 3 letters, it's fully spelling that out. So you don't see a difference between the 3-letter abbreviation and the 4-letter abbreviation. So with that, I now have the date format that I want. I'll go ahead and click OK. and now the date value is in place in the way that I anticipated. So here's the thing. Let's say you like this format and you're frequently having to set the dates up in this way. Maybe you don't want to have to go through that whole exercise all over again to recreate that particular date format. One of the parts of Excel that's really exciting for situations like this is the styles or cell styles. Cell styles are collections of fonts, colors, uh, underlines, background, those kinds of things that affect the appearance of a cell. And you can see some that are built in here, like some that I might use for good values. I might use a green format. Or if I want to indicate to my customer that these cells are for input, there's a cell style called input. I'm going to put this back to normal. In fact, let me do some undos because I've now removed my date formatting. Okay, so I've undone that, and I want to actually preserve this custom format as a cell style. Okay, so if you look at the cell styles area, it's got a little pull down menu, and one of the choices underneath the entire list is new cell style. So I'll choose new cell style, and I'm going to call it special date style. And when you're setting up your new style, you can specify what attributes from the selected cells should be part of the date. In this case, all I'm really interested is in the numeric formatting. Dates are a kind of number in Excel's data type. So I'm not really concerned about preserving the alignment or specifically the font. Like, let's say I had a spreadsheet and the data in question was using Arial or Tahoma. I wouldn't want to override that with Calibri. So I don't want to save the font or borders or fill or protection. I don't want to make that part of my style. I just want to do the number format. I'm calling it special date style, and I'll choose OK. So the beauty is, if I have another set of data sometime in the future and I say, oh man, I now have to put that format that my manager requires or that my team likes to see. Now I don't have to go through all those steps. I select the cells in question and click special date, and now my cell style is applied to those cells. So you can save yourself a lot of time once you have it set up the way you want. Create a special cell style for that purpose, and you're set to go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please come back soon for more Excel demos with Rich Kerr. Have a productive day.